I am the fly rate master. Let's get going. How's everybody doing? Magnum, what's going on? Making sure everything looking good. How's everybody doing tonight? What's up, Richard? Good to see you, Magnum. Appreciate you stopping by to the live stream. $24 viewers. Come on, let's go. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but over here I've got my TrueNAS scale server tore apart. Working on that. Fun stuff being working on servers and stuff. What questions we got today? Come on, guys. What questions you got? I don't think I have anything to talk about. Expected more questions at this point. Oh, so well, let's talk. Well, since I'm not getting any questions, we'll talk about my continuing journey of pissing off shop owners. Man, I've gotten some really ugly comments in various formats lately about my videos talking about the industry. They really don't like getting called out. It's been hilarious. Problem they created, and they're not liking being called out for what they do. Just the grease monkeys are allowed to be called out. One shop owner that was calling out another shop called me out for being a shill. And when I called him on it, he wouldn't give me any information on why I was a shill other than go back and look at his comments from years ago, because he stopped watching me years ago. And I'm like, literally not possible. So that's been fun. I like pissing people off. I'm good at it. Put something in the background shot for next week's videos that'll probably trigger a few people. Some people will probably catch it and ISO, what's going on? It doesn't really apply to automotive, but I needed a place for it. I have it and figured it would be a good thing to put on the wall just to screw with people. Built by Scum. I'm in the market for a new scan tool that will access 2018 plus Chrysler. Snap-on will do it. Autel will do it. Launch will do it. You have to go to AutoAuth, authenticate the tool. You have to pay a fee. It's, I believe, $50. It might be $65. Built by Scum. Excuse me. But it's cost of doing business, and you have to keep the scan tool up to date. You cannot let the subscription lapse. The subscription lapse, it won't work. But you have to have internet access. But pretty much any of the major tool brands will connect to Auto Authority and allow you to access 2018. Marcellus McDonald, if you had to start over again, would you buy your Matco box or go with a cheaper alternative? Knowing what I know now, I probably would have bought a 6S instead of the Revel, obviously because they discontinued it. But I love my toolboxes, so that's the only thing I would have changed. Lake Automotive Diagnostics, what's going on? Automedic, finally got my Pico in the mail last week after 5 months of waiting. Wow. What accessories would you add first? A high amp and low amp clamp. I'd use those all the time. Pulse sensors are really good as well. And if you can swing it, I know it's really expensive, but the pressure transducer is also really, really nice as well to have, and allows you to do a lot of internal engine diagnostics once you learn how to do it. But really good. Darren Soria, I got one regarding the OTC hub cleaner. You mentioned this in your hub cleaning hubs for brake jobs. I keep seeing hub cleaners as drill attachments, but not for die grinders. The OTC one is for a die grinder. It has a die grinder tip on it. That's why it's on my die grinder. A bunch of them are for drills, or they also have one that clips into a 1/2-inch impact you can get as well. If you want to just use it on an impact, works just as well. Sayer, I am a mechanic, so I just wanted to ask your scopes, which one do you think is the best bang for buck? If you're long game, buy the Pico. Buy the Pico or the ATS scope, either one of those. ATS is a little more expensive, but just go ahead and buy the Pico and be done. Just bite the bullet and spend the money. Richard Matthews, love your videos. Kia Tech 4 years, so a lot of engine swaps. Oh, yeah. Need to upgrade my toolbox. Snap-on Epic or Matco 6S. Either are going to be great toolboxes. It's going to come down to how you want your drawers laid out and whether or not they can do it the way you want. Pick the one you like, the colors you want, but make sure you get the drawer layout that works for your needs. Like, I have two different drawer layouts on my two different toolboxes. I've got two Revels. I needed the thicker drawers on the second box for all the bulkier stuff. Why I went with that design for that box. So keep that in mind when you're ordering, because Epics generally have a lot of small, thin drawers that really kind of suck on fitting bulkier stuff in. So just keep that in mind. What do you recommend I get for a hub cleaner? The OTC one or the ATS one? I think it's ATS. Both work well. Actually, let me see. Oh, if I could type. Yeah, see that one doesn't. Pull over here. This one right here. This one will go on a. Pull my face up. OTC 8342 brake. This one right here will go on a die grinder. This is the one I'd recommend you get. It's available on Amazon. Napa carries the cleaning discs if you need them quickly. You can also get this one right here from AME. Bunch of different brands sell these same ones, but both of those are going to be, work great. I'm not retired. Grant Hendrickson, hey, flatratemaster, 2 questions. Do you know anything about the biomedical equipment repair industry? And have you ever used Wera tools? Don't know anything about the biomedical equipment repair industry. Haven't really looked into that kind of stuff. And I've never actually used Wera tools. I know a bunch of people that swear by them, so they're good, but I don't personally. I just haven't purchased any. Eurotech Mech, hey man, good to see you. Again, let's get some shop chat going. What's good on tools? We all love tools. Let's hear what's good, what's affordable. Good, Vim, Astro. Obviously, gear wrench is decent. Megadora, really good wrenches for thinner German style. Tool trucks, they didn't have a whole lot to offer me, honestly. I mean, when I went on there, I didn't see a whole lot new and exciting. I already had sockets and ratchets and all that. So for me, buying on the tool truck was really about what kind of tool they had that really spoke to me and thought I could use coming up, down the road or whatever. So, an interesting tool. That was really about it. It was just kind of hard to keep buying off the truck when I don't really need anything. Gordon Freeman, can a bent fuel rail cause misfires or a lean condition? Yeah. Restriction in fuel flow will cause a lean condition, which will cause a misfire. It'd have to be pretty restrictive, but yeah, it could. Darren Sora, LOL, YTech 2.0 in the pod. I think they're on 3.0, aren't they? Santa Claus, my wife swallowed some yogurt while I watched. That's just wrong. It is hot. Art Lopez, it is hot. See what my phone says. Yeah, I don't think it's 66. Tell you how often I look at it. It's currently 90 degrees. Sarah, I'm the mechanic. Any launch or thin car tool, top-down tool will do that. In my opinion, they currently have the best software and functions. Yeah, I've said that. Yeah, I mean, they got to pay for it. So X-Tool is kind of a rebranded Autel. So Marsalis, you're the only person to say my name right. Okay. Darren, I'm working at a Chrysler dealer, and so considering buying a Mopar diagnostic pod from time to time. Yeah, it'd be a good investment. I mean, they're not cheap, but you don't have to pay for the software as long as your dealership will give you the access code, but the access to it. But yeah, no, that's, if you're working on Mopars, that is the tool. It's a really good tool. And everybody that has it loves it, except when it doesn't work. So would you still recommend a snap-on scanner or an alternative like Autel or Top-Down? I want to get into LabScope Diagnostics. It's hard to recommend a snap-on scan tool. They generally work on everything that they say they do. My problem is the cost has escalated so high, and there's so much stuff that the launches and autels will do that the Snap-on just will not. Now, I will say the Snap-on scope is better than the autel or the launch versions, but buy a Pico, and a launch, and you're basically good to go. Well, you need a laptop too, but I mean that's that's the thing about the Snap-on is they're so expensive nowadays. They work great until they don't do what you need them to do, and that's the worst thing about Snap-on. Alvin Kinder, I work at a shop. They pay 0.3 for diesel. I find that wrong. What do you think? Well, 0.3 to do what? I'm assuming oil change, and yes, especially an actual diesel truck. That's very low. Built by Scum. I have a Snap-on Ethos and Auto Auth. It's 3 updates behind. Rep said that's going to be outdated here soon, so I'm either going to Snap-on or venture outside of Snap-on. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go to launch, be my recommendation. Every one of their tools that are Bluetooth do pretty much the same thing as far as the scanner stuff. So you can get the Throttle 3, I think it is. It's hard to keep track of names. I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, da, da, da. But anyway, that'd be probably the way I would recommend you go. An Auto Auth, you can add multiple tools, up to 5, and they don't charge you anymore. So just an FYI on that. Andy Gomes, best scan tool for my service advisors to pre-scan cars and email the pre-scan report to me to save records. I think, if I remember right, say products. I want to say personal diagnostics. Go there. There was a tool that I'm remembering that I can't find that is this one? No. Oh, I can't remember who made it. But the whole point of the tool is to do pre scans like that. And that's I can't remember who made it. It's not that. Oh no, that's gonna bug me forever. But I mean, there's lots of tools that, I mean, a basic launch tool will do that. Is that it? No, that's not it. Gear Scan Plus, is that it? Sorry, I'm trying to find this tool for this guy. We'll do a full system scan though. Yeah, I bet it doesn't. All right. Sorry, I don't remember what it was, but there was a dedicated tool that somebody has that it's basically for pre-scan and post-scan. But any basic launch tool, Autel, as long as they do full system scans and have email capabilities, can send a report. Launch has a really good system. Autel, not so much on sending pre and post scans. But like that one's not that expensive and should be able to do everything they want to do. And it will give you a full system report. But, you know, that'd be the best one I can think of off the top of my head, because I cannot think of it right now. But I was looking at it the other day. All right. Want to get a Launch 909E. Cool. Kevin Brewer, would you consider working as a tech line support for a big brand like Toyota? The money's right. Sure. I mean, I can do, you know, I can do tech line support. Alvin, a new tech, anybody have tips to get faster? Should I buy a mirror to look at brakes without taking the off the wheel for multi-point inspection? Yes. Highly recommend you get a little mirror on a stick, stick it back there. Now, if you doesn't look, if it looks questionable, take the wheel off to verify. But yes, do that. Don't worry so much about quality as a new technician over speed. I know it's hard, but the biggest thing you need to worry about is the quality of your work. Work as efficiently as you can, maximize not your movement. Basically what I mean is do everything you can in one spot, then lift the car, etc., etc. But really you want to worry about getting more efficient while maintaining your quality. So don't rush through things. Make sure you do everything you can to maintain your quality. Speed will come with time. Magnum, you sound like Wyatt Earp and Tombstone. Okay. Haven't seen Tombstone in years, so I don't know remember what he sounds like. I am speaking on an SM7B though, so. Phil H, let's be honest, all those name brand tools are overrated. I broke more Snap-on and Max sockets than any other brand. I've had tons of 10mm sockets in Pittsburgh since 2009 used on an Impact. I've only broken a handful of Snap-on sockets, but I generally use almost all Impact sockets, and mostly they just wear out, which is part of Impact sockets. They wear out. Sayer, I'm the mechanic, so I have a permanent way of deleting the GM pass lock with no cutting or bypassing. Okay. Chrome nonetheless, Phil H. Jason, Vim has a brake hub cleaner that looks identical to the OTC. It was a common design, and then everybody started putting the drill shank on it, the hex, which you can use on a like an impact driver. But I've had that OTC one for years, so I'm sure you Google it or go on Amazon. There's tons of options. Sayer, opinions on real-time labor guide. I just started using them, and they seem to be handy. They have heavy-duty capabilities. I've only briefly used real-time labor guides, and I don't remember much about it when I did use it. It was like a trial or something. I forget exactly what it was. It's been a long time. The few times I've had access to heavy-duty, it was Mitchell. That's the only heavy-duty software I've used. My time with big trucks was paper manuals, so didn't have no fancy computers to look stuff up. Had to look it up in a book. And of course, there was always a dirty thumbprint right where you're trying to read. Kayla Pendley, for diagnostics, would you say that flat rate is a better pay system than commission? Honestly, hourly is probably the best for diagnostics because you never know what the shop's going to bill. You know, you never know what kind of actual problem you're going to find. You know, a friend of mine the other day called me, was having trouble with a Chrysler product, and Chrysler's diagnostics on that system sucks. I'm trying to help him over the phone. Long story short, it was something simple he overlooked, but you gotta, salary hourly is best for diagnostics simply because you never know what you're going to get. And most shops do not pay enough for diagnostics. It's one of the biggest problems with diagnostics is they think everything can be solved in an hour. And, we all know that's not always the case. George B., curious about quick oscilloscope testing to make you money. At a Toyota dealer, you mostly see scopes as a waste of time and little value. There's a time and place to use oscilloscopes. I think a lot of the channels really push hard on oscilloscopes. Pick on Mario. I got to pull the scope out to look at this. I got to pull the scope out to look at that. Oh, you got a misfire. Swap coils. Oh, it's a bad coil or a bad plug. I'm not putting a coil on a spark plug that's not been replaced. So even if I'm only doing one coil, one plug, it's getting a new plug. So either the spark plug was bad or had a carbon trace on it, it's getting new both anyway. So there's times for scopes. There's times for just flat rating a diagnostic. Timing is one of the biggest things with oscilloscopes when it comes to issues with, engine timing. Really comes in handy. Like you'll have a check engine light code for a, cam sensor fault, and it'll turn out that the car is out of time. And that's where it really comes in handy because you can verify the timing of the engine without having to call the customer, sell cam sensor, and then have to go back and sell them timing job. So that's really where it comes in handy. And you're not going to see that a whole lot, I don't think, at Toyota because, I don't think they have a whole lot of timing problems over there. But yeah, that's where I would, differentiate between scopes and just using a scan tool and doing, flat rate diagnostics. Trucker Drew, any tool brand recommendation for a cylinder leak down tester? OTC. I would, however, get a compression tester as well, because you can use compression test hoses with that are don't have the removable tips on them that can come off. Ask me how I know that. Mine's been removed a couple different times when people borrow my tool. But the tester itself is good. Just get you a Harbor Freight compression gauge. Take the Schrader valve out and use those hoses that have the dedicated ends on them instead of the adapters. Darren, right now we used YTech 2.0. I thought they were upgrading it, but I could be wrong. I don't have YTech, and have never actually got the chance to use it. I thought about buying it, but it's expensive. Mr. Jones, looking for good PTO installation tool ideas, tight spots on F550s and the Allisons as such. Ooh, not real. I've done PTOs. Usually I used a probably S wrenches probably be the best thing to use on those to allow you to get up in there. The wrench that comes in an S. Allisons are probably still standard. The F550 is probably a metric, I assume. I don't think I've worked on an F550. But yeah, I mean, that's probably your best bet would be an S wrench. Sarah, I'm a mechanic. You can see me build that PC, the one that's next to me on my other channel, Creator Hardware. I have a second channel. I play around with servers. I built this fully water-cooled PC. It's AMD 7900 EK water block for the CPU, 4080 fully water-cooled with a Corsair block. I couldn't get an EK block fast enough. 2 Corsair 360 radiators, Lee fans. But yeah, if you go to search Creator Hardware, you'll find my video on it, building it. You get to see, think the full tour's still on my channel. I removed a bunch of videos from that channel that weren't performing. But on this channel, they don't perform. I mean, it literally, anything I do that kind of goes to that side of it just dies. So it's not really worth it. But yeah, go to Creator Hardware and you can see me literally build that one, including the whole cluster of the motherboard dying. Gotta love MSI. It's actually the first MSI board I've had that wasn't good, but online mechanic tips, what's up? Yeah, I thought it was coming. I don't know. I'm old. I forget stuff. It's funny because I can remember stuff from years ago and, can't remember stuff from 2 minutes ago. I'm old. Magnum Johnson, I appreciate it. Coke Zero, but I appreciate it. Alvin Kadir, any suggestions to learn how to do brakes? Can't really work with mechanics, so how can I learn? Do you have a car? Take them apart, put them back together, make sure you torque everything. There's plenty of videos on how to do brakes on cars. I think Erico over at South Main Auto has probably 200 brake videos. But yeah, I mean, it's brakes are easy. Just make sure you don't twist the hose. You don't, screw anything up as far as pushing the caliper back in. Use the right tool. But yeah, it's not hard. Jason, you may not remember, but I asked a while ago about changing from industrial to automotive, and I made the change, and I like it a lot. I love it a lot. Awesome. Glad you're happy. Finding a good place to work is key to life. I mean, it sucks going to a place you don't want to go to. So, Kayla, yeah, the job search is done. Sayer, I'm a mechanic. Ooh, good news. FCAR is adding pen tests and topology to their new tools coming November. And the specs gave me looked very impressive, and a Windows tablet. Nice. What's up, Keith? I had to get home. Sorry, man. I thought about calling you, but I wasn't planning on spending any time in Raleigh. Humble messaged me, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go swing by and see his shop. Yeah, sorry, Keith. Landon, what brand style of snap ring pliers would you buy? Lang has a really good set. Lang Tools, also known as Castar. They're really good. Mr. Jones, any tools you can remember? Lots of tools I can recommend. If you have CCC, the drive safe will send you pre and post directly for you there. Okay. Third party, so you get paid more as well. Cool. My familiarity with PTOs, Mr. Jones, is limited, mostly to putting them on and taking them off when I did transmissions. But I don't remember them being particularly hard. I think I used a 3/8 impact to put them on. Lakes on them. Lakes, what I say? Sep Turner. The Think Car Mini is good. Yep. Sorry, Keith. I'm live streaming. I thought it was going to be my wife. Sorry, Keith. Still alive, the myth, the legend, and yes, he is. What was the tool used for pulling out hub assemblies? I'm referring to doing wheel bearings, the slide hammer. When I'm doing press in bearings, I just take a slide hammer and slide out the hub. And don't let anybody tell you it's rust or whatever. There's no rust inside the hub unless it's falling apart. So yeah, I just slide hammer them out. Easy does it. Currently use Xtool A330M. Good for the price. Yes. I mean, it's Autel software. Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of them do use SARE. All of them do pre and post scans. It's just whether or not it's easy to get it out of the tool. Sayer, what is your favorite tool for doing old OBD1 systems? I still run my old Genesis as it will work 98% of the time. I have too many issues with OBD1. I have a snap-on red brick, so that's what I'd use. I don't know where it is. I know where it is. I haven't used it in years. Yeah, he went to work for WTI, World Pack Training Institute. Yeah, of course, Keith. Got to have multiple jobs. You know, we know you. Phil H, that's World Pack Training Institute. Fake name Jones. Hey, what's this? I'm new here. This is a regular live stream. Yes, every Thursday since my internet's fixed. I took a month off from streaming on Thursdays because my internet decided it was not happy. And multiple trips out here for Comcast, 2 modems, and finally have decent internet again. Jones and for Tools, what are your thoughts on Koken tools? Just bought the 3/8 ratchet and a few other things for them to try out. Koken's very good. Very good, high quality company. Would have no problem recommending their stuff to anybody. Phil H, what tools to tell you if GDI injectors aren't flowing the same? Hopefully the OEM or the scan tool will give you flow rates. They're not always accurate, but that's pretty much the best way other than taking them out and sending them somewhere. JWC Tech, a lot of manufacturers you have to buy through authorized distributors, or they won't warranty them. Like I found this out. Gray Pneumatic, the warranty is through the retailer, not the company. They literally don't. The company itself does not have an actual warranty. So keep that in mind. So the bought off the tool truck and he warranties it. He's warrantying it. It's up there. Yeah. I mean, I can't recommend something you can't. ISO opinion on the World Pack training. Is it available to any random tech, or do I need to be employed somewhere? You need to have a World Pack account. Is the biggest thing, and that's not easy for a small shop or anything like that. But you have to be a World Pack customer. You might be able to get through Advance. Keith probably knows more about that than me, but the World Pack training is absolutely excellent. Bar none, some of the best training in the country, and I know it'll only get better with Keith in charge of it. But you know, so many great trainers work for World Pack. Trained by techs, most of them are World Pack instructors. So, you know, but yeah, definitely, they're great. But yeah, you have to be a World Pack customer to be able to get access to it. But if you do any business through Advanced Commercial, they might be able to get you access. You'd have to work that out with them. JWC Tech, yeah, so I've been going through Koken USA, and they will warranty what they sell, yeah. And Phil H, what tools for global A cars for using used PCM? EEPROM. You got to virginize it. You cannot put a used module without virginizing it for any global A cars. You have to do you got to virginize it. GCRC, I graduated from local tech school in 2007, worked at a shop for a few months, then went to work in an oil field until recently. I'm about to start back in a shop. What are the biggest changes? Mostly electronics. It's pretty much going to be CAN network, LIN network, all that kind of stuff. A lot more modules than 2007. Depending on the shop you're working at, will depend on what you have to deal with. Gateway modules are a big thing nowadays. Chrysler, since 2018, you have to have a scan tool that is up to date and have a auto authentication account. But that's pretty much it. The rest of the cars are pretty much the same, just a lot more electronics and a lot more stuff that's controlled by electronics from 2007. CDTA, opinion on the Snap-on Vantage. Going to look at a used one, fairly ordered, thinking it would be great for draws and quick testing. Yes, it is. The fuse in the back of it, the dedicated amp circuit is awesome for draw testing. I loved when I had one. It was a shop, so Keith would be a better person to answer that question than me, because I don't do that kind of stuff. I've never done EEPROM kind of work. I guess he says IO terminal all the way. When does B start, or did? 2021 vet, Yukon, I believe. Alexi, what's going on? How you doing? Oh, electric parking brakes. Yeah, good call, Joshua. Yeah. Electronic parking brakes, where you got to have a scan tool to do rear brakes. If they have electronic parking brake, there's some sort of procedure that you have to do in order to do rear brakes. But yeah, that's a big one I forgot about. Foxbox, what's going on? How you doing? Making sure all my stuff's still good. Internet's still good. OBS is still good. See if I've missed anything. Pappy, are the mountain long wrenches worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. Use those all the damn time. I don't know what I just did, but I clicked on something. All right. Just going back and making sure I'm caught up on all the questions. Nick Ashley, what percentage of mechanics do you think are actually know what they are doing and diagnosing stuff as opposed to throwing parts at it? Percentage wise, I don't know. But it's surprising how many. There's lots of good nut and bolt techs out there. There's a lot of diagnostic techs that aren't. It's a pretty good percentage. A lot of people think they're better than they are, but you know. Nick Ashley, if you had to guess how many people working automotive, I have no idea. I guess that was the. Yeah, Card Act, pretty much the standard for J boxes. Alvin, the industry is getting considerably better. I think we've hit a point where Shops are starting to get desperate for good help, and they're starting to really pay. Rich, does anyone use solvent or mineral spirits washer? Ever since we went with water, I use lots of brake clean on internal trans parts. Some shops still do. Safety Clean does a massive business in mineral oil, but mineral spirits, and they're servicing, but it's harder and harder because it's such a liability to have a tank of flammable fluid in a shop. Renegade, thank you. Appreciate it. Torque that like button. Yeah, I mean, top-down launch are the same thing. ISO, pretty much get which one that you can get a better price on, and it's US, from a US company. I scroll back down. Yeah, Victor. I mean, when I was growing up, coming up in this industry, it was not much out there other than the tool trucks or a lot of junk, Craftsman and SK. ISO, when I get a scope, is there anything you think is a must to accompany it? At least a low amp clamp. You can use a low amp clamp for so much things. It's indispensable. I have 3 or 4 now. Adrian, what's going on? Didn't see you were in the chat. Scroll back down, see where I'm at with that. The electric motors can be removed and pistons manually winded for rear brakes. LOL. Some cars that will completely screw things up, and you will literally not be able to drive the car. Just an FYI. There's some cars that if you don't reset the brake position, it literally won't let you pull it out of park. Phil H, Friday tomorrow, hell yeah. Key programming harder these days with some workarounds on per 17-ish vehicles, yeah. I've got some stuff in the works, but JWC Tech, I got some stuff in the work, but nothing I can talk about right now. Phil H, tell G from TST he needs to get better audio. I literally have. I literally have told G that he needs to get better audio. It's his audio is awful, and lose the half ponytail. I'm not telling him that. Foxbox, been a week. I'm so thankful I'm going on vacation next week. Well, enjoy your vacation. CDTA Auto, what are your recommended brands for specialty toolkits? Castar Lang, OTC. Castar is rebrand. Most of the stuff from the tool trucks is rebranded Castar Lang. Really good stuff. They'll last you a long time. Compression and oil testers, either Castar, Lang, or OTC. 716 Auto, did you sell any tools or equipment? Nope. 20%. I don't know what that's about. Phil H. Eric from Advanced Auto, good too, yes. Joshua recommended vids and watch them too. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you. Foxbox, I'm not going to Milwaukee next month. They're cutting back on what they're doing, so no, I didn't get an invite. Humble Mechanic actually had to email them and ask for an invite, so he didn't even get an invite. Do it for Dale. Oh, gotta love having people having conversations in the chat. Oh, scroll back. North Carolina is a whole different ball game. Yep, Keith. A little different than Long Island or Staten Island, I should say. Oh, cheers are for champagne, not beer. Let's see, anything I've missed? Gordon Freeman, can a pitted cylinder walls cause future problems? Oh, yes. It'll do things like break piston rings and low compression, etc., etc. Phil H, literally different places. Long Island is Long Island. Staten Island is Staten Island. They're literally two different places in New York. It's like ISO been between dealing with writers not wanting to upsell, parts not available, and warranty times and the amount of favors you do, I can't justify ever being a dealer tech again. I mean, that's definitely one of the problems with dealers. I don't know why a writer would not want to upsell something, considering they're paid commission on what they sell. Phil H, have a good one. We appreciate it. Nicholas, hey Mike, honest question: when is the slowdown going to hit? I mean, I could be wrong about it slowing down. Everything I saw as far as financials and all that, it looked like people were going to pull back on spending. They're not right now, so I can't predict the future, and I was wrong, or maybe I was wrong. I don't know. Jones and for Tools, is your YouTube channel worth all the work you put into it? Any advice for growing a channel? Jonesing for Tools. I don't know if it's worth it or not. I appreciate everybody that watches my videos and all that kind of stuff, and it can be sometimes very frustrating, very annoying. You get I don't want to say bullied a lot, but you get a lot of people that say really ugly things about you as a YouTuber. And my advice about that is anybody can, if you're discussing my content and disagreeing with me, that's fine. I will never take that stuff down. But you personally attack me, bye. Shadow ban right away. You'll never be able to be seen on my channel again. But growing it, short form content seems to be the big thing for everybody right now. So I would suggest you do shorts, a lot of shorts. Yeah, no problem, Gordon. Yeah, Ashore, the service advisors that I've dealt with that have come from the dealer were rabidly hungry. I mean, they would come out and ask you if there's anything else they could sell on that car, or they'd sell stuff you didn't quote. So, Art Lopez, what are the labor rates in your area? From, well, you have to remember, Atlanta is a huge city. So it goes from like probably still $75, $85 up to 200 plus, depending on the area. The shop I used to work at was 168. Whenever they felt like it, and then other times it was different. Other places are 150, 160. Dealers can be like 280. So that's kind of the range. Maybe this is the apex before the dive after the cliffs. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've heard some shops have slowed down considerably. I've heard some shops are busy as all get out. So I don't know. I don't know. Bro, man, nobody's pulling back on spending at my dealer. Warranty does suck, but grab as much as you can while you can. Exactly. Yeah, Keith. I mean, it can bear on you, especially with all the service, especially with all the really nasty things I've been getting said to me by shop owners pissed about my recent content. ISO, have you ever had a rider that constantly says just pull the car out? Yes. I mean, I've written up cars and it was like they didn't even bother to sell it, or they didn't even talk to the customer. Customer comes to get the car, and then all of a sudden they're going, well, I would have approved that. But yes, no, I've had several service writers like that didn't try to sell anything, and I never got it. I never, like, your job is to sell and you get paid for it. Why don't you? But every writer's different. So, Rich, I don't think parts availability will ever be like it was anymore. It's every industry right now. Yes. Yeah. I mean, most industries are just struggling to, keep inventory at all. Big Papa 985, thinking about quitting the independent shop and going out on my own. Have a lot of money. You need to have plenty of operating expenses to start out. Make sure you have insurance and do everything right. But I mean, that's the biggest thing, is you got to have, the ability to pay all your personal bills as well as the shop bills, even when the company's not making enough money. Nicholas, new level is one of the reasons I was able to ascend. Otherwise, I'd be working on an oil rig in the ocean or HVAC. Yeah, Keith is the man. Ashore 1975, we can't find qualified licensed guys. I'm guessing you're up in Canada, which doesn't have flat rate for the most part. I know some shops are flat rate, but for the most part. Baltimore 210, did you buy the famous Snap-on umbrella? No. I never bought any of that stuff. Anytime you saw anything, like if I posted on Instagram that I bought that I got something, I was wanted or was given it. I've never bought any of that kind of stuff. And, like a couple of guys at the old shop bought the Snap-on kegs that you could buy on Amazon for literally half, and they were that company's kegs. The beer keg thing that they had. ISO, that's why I left the field. Why should my pay hurt because you don't want to do your job? One big to every writer that was like that, yeah. Nicholas, don't change a thing, Mike. It's your honest opinion, point of view. Not everyone agrees with everyone else, just human nature. Yeah, I mean, not going to lie. I mean, it's been incredibly telling about these people, and they're calling me toxic, and they're personally attacking me for pointing out problems in our industry. You know, it's not like I'm, you know, Aaron Townsend, God, the kegs were a scam. Yes, they were. A couple of his coworkers bought them, not him. But I mean, it was crazy. The amount of personal, not, you know, personal attacks on me that were just straight up because they didn't want to hear what I had to say. And that was some of the most telling things I've ever seen about some of these people. Like, I was talking about my situation and what I had to deal with, and it just went right to personal, right? It was my problem, not the shop's problem. It was, you know, it shows the mentality of some people. Not going to say all shop owners. There's lots of good shop owners out there, but I think there's a lot of really, really scummy people as well. David Sabine, how would you react if the shop you worked at gave your cars you diagnosed to a guy paid less to do the repairs? I've had that happen. It pisses me off, especially when I'm flat rate. Now, I've given other guys to do repairs that didn't have work, and I had stuff to do and they needed work. I've given them stuff like that. But yeah, no, that really does suck. Sicient, I work in HVAC and have been having the same issues with material since COVID. Yeah, everybody has. Lake's Automotive Diagnostics. I love getting comments on people being so grateful that I have saved them time and money on my videos. Awesome, dude. Yeah, that really helps make it worth it, is when people talk about, you know, I get comments about, you know, I help people become more efficient, you know, move to a new shop, you know, work at a good place, and they've been able to make a good living in this industry, and they saw the potential of this industry that I was talking about. And, you know, it makes it worth it a lot easier. Sorry, I've been getting beat up lately in various forums lately, but, you know, Astro 1975, been flat rate for more than 20 years. Me too. Big Papa, awesome, cool. Sayer, have a great stream. Cheers from Canada. See you on this flip side. Lakes Automotive Diagnostics, yeah, it does outweigh the bad comments, but Phil H, I think Scanner Danner set the standard for auto diagnostics. He was amazing in the older videos. Now his son films. It's not the same. No, his son edits them. The son films them. It's a different style. So it is what it is. ISO, I would get paid 1.5 for a brake job instead of 2.5 by my former boss at the dealer just because it was his niece's car. Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff is just horrendous. Screwing people over. The shop takes the discount, not the tech. And that's the kind of scummy stuff I've been talking about and, you know, getting attacked for. Silkiant, appreciate your honesty about the industry as someone who's looking to change careers. Too many people pretend everything is okay when it's not. Yes, I mean, I got accused of, you know, preaching about the industry for my Golden Palace. It's not like that's the only place I've ever worked. I've worked in other places. I've worked in other shops. There's problems in every shop. There's good things and bad things in every shop, but there's lots of good stuff in this industry that people just can't think about because they're stuck in a bad place. Move on. And I should have taken that advice a long time ago, but it is what it is. Rich, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Gordon Freeman, working on other techs. Comeback sucks too. I was a shop foreman. Amazing how many people went on vacation or called in sick when they had a comeback. Yeah, I can tell you how many comebacks I've worked on that were not mine. And it sucks. And it really sucks when you realize why the comeback was there. Nicholas, he said, my parts have been ridiculous in the last past 6 weeks. Couldn't get calipers for a 2006 Corolla the other day. I'd say worse than COVID. Dude, getting parts for Hondas have been nightmares for a while. And it's Hondas. And it's bad. I mean, it sucks. You got to go to a different tier part. You got to go to a different supplier. It's crazy. Big Papa, so I'm the shop foreman for the shop and had a guaranteed 40 hours as long as I turned 30. Excuse me, to pay for putting fires out and helping other techs, but they pulled it from me today. That sucks. But yeah, that's pretty crappy. Did they at least give you a reason? Yeah. Joshua, yeah, money's a big thing. You've got to make sure you've got enough funds to keep the lights on and at both the shop and your house. Bills are real. Yeah, bills are real. They just keep coming. Especially when the shop makes all the profits, especially off parts. Yep. Big Pop, I can feel you on that. I did everything from waiter oil changes all the way up to replacing engines, transmissions, etc. ISO, at my old Acura shop, a guy did 20 hours worth of accessories, but got paid around 10 because it was going to be a rep's car. Needless to say, he quit. Shame, because he was a good tech. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of stuff that makes people quit this industry, and that needs to stop. Yeah, as Joshua says, yeah, network with the other shops. Get them to send you stuff they don't want to mess with. Aaron Moore, know of the best place to buy service trucks around Atlanta? You looking for new or used? Cars exposed. What's going on, Igor? No reason, just said I'm going back flat rate. Oh, I'll probably walk out tomorrow. Man, that sucks. Joe Mama, keep your foot on those phony bosses. Well, A1 amazing. What is better for people wanting to be a mechanic, a degree or certification? Both of them really don't matter. Go to a school you can afford. Get whatever certificate or degree they care about. What that school does, and then get in the shop. You need the background training. The difference between a degree and a certification is the degree you have to do all the, maths and sciences and English and all that stuff. A certification is just a dedicated class to auto repair. So I would recommend doing the certification class rather than the degree, unless you have aspirations to go back to college to do something else. Then a degree will probably serve you better because you already got your core classes. Yeah, as Joshua says, good luck, Big Papa. Might be time. Scotty, what's up? Are you just JWC Tech? Just got my RT wrench set last week. Are you planning to get in them? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, for content wise, I don't know how much it really be useful for me. I've got other solutions that'll work. I've got the Astro pneumatic wrenches, or yeah, Astro pneumatic wrenches. So it that kind of stuff comes down to will it make good content. Anyone amazing? You're welcome. Yeah, Lakes. Yeah, training the getting the book knowledge is great, but you got to put hands on dirty parts. If you don't have hands on dirty parts, dang, dude, that sucks. On the men mate had a bit of cars exposed, by the way. Uh, he's over in England. Cool dude. Drank a lot of liquor with him in a pub one time. um, had an incident at work burning both of my hands. I've been off for 2 weeks, going back to work Monday. Oh, geez, dude, that sucks. Hopefully everything's no permanent damage. Renegade Garage, a shop owner, told me that in Florida the shop can only do repairs that the techs are ASC certified in. As stupid as the laws are in Florida, I don't think that's true, but I could be wrong. I've never worked in Florida. Got anybody in Florida that can confirm that? Aaron Moore, going for a used service truck. I want gasoline. I'm done dealing with diesel problems. Let's see here. See if I remember this company. Pruitt's Truck Sales. I bought one vehicle from them many years ago. They're still owned by the same people. They're on Cobb Parkway. They might be a good place to check out for a used service truck. All they do is use commercial vehicles. So might check them out, Aaron. Scotty Frazier, yeah, hands-on is where all the real learning comes from. Yeah. Book learning is great, but until you put it in practice, you're really not going to understand it. Nick L. Orlando here, plenty of uncertified techs work around here. However, I have heard of warranty companies not paying if you do not have a certified tech on staff. Warranty companies are different. But as long as it's not a state law, because I don't think it is, there are some states like Michigan, you have to be a licensed mechanic to work in the state of Michigan, I believe. Like if no one's certified in brakes, they can't do brakes. That's crazy. I mean, it's probably a good thing. At least they have some training to be able to pass the ASCs. A1 Amazing, with no experience, is it better to get training at a school first before the job? Yes. I mean, I do recommend you get the book learning on especially electrical stuff. Get the book learning done, and they will probably have a job placement plan or at least some sort of ability to get you into a shop, which will help you move forward in your career. Um, Most shops are really hesitant to hire somebody just off the street that has no experience other than dealers. Dealers a lot of times will hire you for the quick lane and they will train you, which is an option. And they will continue to train you for the life of the time you work there. But yeah, I mean, you'd best to get some sort of training. I live near Aikens. Yeah. Just don't want to give an arm and leg for a new truck. Yeah, it is an arm and a leg. And, you know, a nut, you know. I'm saying you said at least one tech has to be certified. I don't know. Never heard that. Jones and for tools. Have you ever watched Justin Dow YouTube channel? He's a little crazy, but I like his honest take on tool reviews. Yeah, I know Justin. I've actually been on a couple of his live streams years ago. He's an interesting dude. Did somebody really just say Scotty Kilmore? God, I hope not. Scotty Frazier. Joe Mama, only thing I'm certified in is Max. Scotty Frazier, favorite tool for air conditioning diagnosis and repairs. Biggest one for me is obviously an AC machine. For R1234YF, CO2 and the Bullseye spray from ATS. That stuff is awesome. It's really nice to be able to just pressurize the system and then be able to find the leak on those systems because they can be incredibly small. Other than that, adding dye, UV lights are the two biggest things that I really want to have. Scan tool 2, depending on the car, Aaron. A lot of cars still don't control their AC with a scan tool, but yeah. Semi-truck technician. Okay, I may be wrong on that. I've only lived in Wisconsin and Georgia, so, I don't necessarily know everything. And I'm old and I may misremember stuff. So can I purchase bulk Freon with Max license? Yeah, if you've got the current Max license, yeah, you can buy 30-pound cylinders from anywhere. Jeez, dude. No permanent damage, cars exposed, but I was well behind the job list. Generally, have around 20 jobs at the end of the month. I've turned on my tablet today and I have 105 jobs currently. Ooh, dude. Hopefully you can get back to it and catch up. Ryan Hill, what's up, man? Let these people know about mobile diag, guys. Sure, we see crazy stuff, but it'll let you see the issues and work on your diagnostic strategy. I'm from Automotive Diag in Atlanta. Yeah, dude. Talking to all those guys, they see some crazy stuff and stupid stuff. And I mean, it's crazy, man. That's some of the stuff that they get to deal with, a pinched wire in an ABS and a accident car, stuff like that. The stories they can tell, man. If you get like Keith, you get Ryan, you get any of these mobile diag guys that do diagnostics and programming and stuff, they can tell you some crazy stories about the stuff that goes on with what they deal with. I mean, I'm sure they've called out to many cars and been told, oh yeah, you want me to program that ECM that has no communication? ISO, no. Nicholas, love the Bullseye. Found a few head gasket, other missed, and we'd have too. Yeah, Bullseye is awesome. Scotty, why are so many hesitant to learn the foundations of electricity and automotive electrical automotive systems, I don't know. It's not that complicated. It really isn't. It's really simple. They're a simple circle. You know, like I can understand hesitation with communication systems, but yeah, basic electrical is so, I mean, one of the hardest things I have trying to teach is basic electrical because it's just so basic. And I go, you know, one of my problems in teaching is I tend to go too fast past the stuff that I don't think is that important. And then I realize as I'm teaching that they really need that stuff that's not important. But I wish every technician took automotive electricity extremely serious because it's so important in every bit of a car. ISO, as a dealer tech, I realized how one-dimensional I was. You kind of are, yeah. Van Soren, hey, your videos have been really helpful. I've bought a lot of stuff off the truck, but funny enough, when I agree tool trucks aren't necessary, I'm becoming a Mac dealer soon. Well, congratulations. Appreciate your support. Aaron Moore, it's really hard to find a service truck the way I need it. Spec, yeah, that is, if you have specific needs, finding exactly what you need. You may have to buy them separately. That does suck. Joe Mama, as a master, cars are stupid easy. Aaron Moore, I'm surprised more people don't run gas on service trucks. I know you get 30% worse fuel mileage, but no DPF and less components to go bad. A lot of people are still stuck in the 90s, 2000s diesel truck problem. I mean, back then, you just bought a diesel truck and it ran. And so a lot of people still go that way, even though there are so many problems with the modern diesels. I mean, like, you know, the last diesel truck I owned was a Duramax. It had the particulate filter, and that was it. And I hated that particulate filter, but it was the only piece of emissions other than EGR. But that was before DEF and all that. And it's just gotten so stupid with the amount of junk they've put onto diesel trucks that just to, you know, make them 2% better as far as efficient, or as far as emissions, and then killed the fuel mileage. Because, you know, like when my Duramax would go into regen, my fuel mileage went to the dirt, and it was horrible. So, ISO, yeah. I mean, people don't like what they don't understand. When something is familiar or understood, it's a lot less intimidating, but not willing to learn is the root cause. I've never gotten that. I really have never gotten that mentality. I mean, I'm more than willing to learn stuff about all sorts of things. I mean, but don't work, it don't work. But, you know, Joe Mom, I don't know what the 30% is huge, but okay. Electrical diag heavy line is all less scary when you're familiar. Yeah. How to automotive. I'm going to make a big switch and switch over to paint and body side. If everything goes as planned, really? Really, Brian? That's crazy. ISO, how's my GMC truck? My GMC truck is great. I got a 2020 GMC Sierra sitting in my driveway right now. Why would I get rid of my truck? I like it. Heated and air conditioned seats. Charles, I ran a LabScope diagnostic today on a 2016 Titan Premier, tracking down a blown fuse 15 amp for 3.5 hours. Wow. It was only pulling 1.4 at max and an average of 0.53. Jeez. That sounds fun. Scotty taking my A2 Autotrans and ASIC electrical this upcoming Wednesday. Hope to be master certified by the end of the year. Good luck. Moved to Nashville shortly after. Nashville's a cool town. Turbo, I want Snap-on stuff, but I don't know how to get them. I don't work at a shop where there's tool trucks. Online. Snap-on will sell off their website. So if you want something specifically from Snap-on, you can buy it on their website. You don't get, obviously, and they will warranty it too, by the way, via the web, via online as well. So you can warranty it as well, but you just have to buy it online. Charles, they're nowhere near enough to come anywhere close to blowing a fuse. For some things are difficult. Yeah. Yet the battery will drain. Yeah, Joe Mama. Aaron Moore, yeah, 30% is large, but in my industry, you bring your service truck to work and leave it sitting for 10 hours a day. Fuel mileage doesn't really only matter. Accumulating 10,000 miles a year, I guess. Charles, that's crazy. That particular circuit is the only one that runs off the circuit is the computer, the electronic controlled fan, and the DPF system that is not on the vehicle. Somebody else took that off. Verified. Wow. How to automotive. I drink a lot of liquor with you in a pub as well. with cars exposed. That was in England. That was in London. You is Milwaukee. Prof. The EPA is the problem, not diesel trucks. Yeah. Charles, my problem is too many people want to read codes and change parts. Yes, they don't take the 5 freaking seconds. My one of the best cars, dude. Cars exposed. Appreciate the super chat. You didn't have to. I've unfortunately had the joy of having a tech sell a O2 sensor without even looking at it, and found it was completely ripped out on both sides. The connector was gone. The wires were just dangling there on both sides. That was a fun. Well, hopefully the drivers didn't die. But yeah, saw code, sold an O2 sensor, didn't even look at the car. So yeah, big problem. EPA makes manufacturers put junk in there for 2% more efficiency, and the stuff breaks the vehicle, makes it crap. No, the problem with the diesel stuff is it actually makes mileage much worse. Diesel trucks were fine before all that. Cars exposed. Plenty of DPF issues here in the UK. Crappy system, in my opinion. Oh, it's a god-awful system. Good for us, keeping us on the job, I suppose. Remember, every hour idling is 33 miles on the road. Nicholas, okay? Adam, I'm a Ford diesel apprentice and do everything pretty much on my own. Tips or advice to keep me motivated, LOL. Learn. The more stuff you learn, the faster you'll progress. Take as much time as you can to figure out systems. If you've got extra time, figure out a system. Find new stuff to learn. That's one of the most exciting things about this industry is there's so much you can learn. Find something else to learn about with the trucks. You know, don't just learn the pattern failures. Learn how a system works, how the diagrams are set out. Figure out how the systems work. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it really is. Discovering how things work really does make it much more interesting to do stuff. Adam, find an assistant to do the heavy lifting. For the whiskey, I appreciate it. Aaron Moore, have to buy a VGT variable turbo for a Ram 6.7. $3,000. Love it, I bet. It's always fun. Diesels are expensive. I mean, it's just crazy how much they've gotten. And pre-OBD2, you had to be the computer. Prof, I'm well aware of that. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a shop and I'm the only one that knows how to work on cars with points and carburetors. Yeah, I'm that old. I go from carburetors to feedback carburetors to early fuel injection all the way up to GDI. So, and that the pre-OBD2 is when scopes shined and I didn't have one. Joe Mama, 99% of the time I diag by experience. Yeah, but you a dealer tech. You see the same stuff over and over again. Us independent guys got to look at the different stuff. So we don't know all the pattern failures. Oh, all right. Well, we have been going for an hour and 37 minutes, so I think it is about time to shut this puppy down. I really got to use the facilities, if you know what I mean. So I appreciate everybody stopping by. We'll see you the same time next week. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.